The following show contains a fictional narrative that includes themes, events, and language that some may find distressing. Discretion is advised.
Hey, welcome to This Line Isn't Secure. I'm Libby, the host today and every day, except for the days when I'm not the host. We've got our fantastic cast here. We're going to be playing some Delta Green today, and I might even stay near my microphone. Let's start and do our introductions as we always do, and we'll get right into the action.
Hey everyone, I'm Ty. I play Deputy Marshal Reed Hollis. Or is he? Is he a Deputy Marshal? What's going on with Reed Hollis? Who knows? I guess we might find out.
Hey everyone, I'm Charlie. I'm playing Adam Blackburn, Agent Meridian.
Howdy y'all, I am Andy, and I'm playing Dr. Alexander Shoemaker, former FBI forensic psychiatrist, and Agent Merchant for Delta Green.
And I am Hawk, and I am playing Heather Stodder, corporate consultant in computers and higher order mathematics, fervent believer that predestination might be happening right now to us all, and sometimes Agent Miranda under the aegis of Delta Green.
Great, and I'm hungry. All right, now let's go on to the recap from Hawk.
Excellent. Wow, I forgot to
pretty
prep the
much
recap.
sums it up.
Hold on. I gotta cast myself back in the midst of time.
That's okay. You want to take 5 or 10 minutes? It's okay if you want to
No.
Okay, all right.
I'm getting there. I gotta, every second takes me a day back. So I just gotta take 14 seconds and then I'll be right there. Caught up in the whirlwind chaos of one of the tenants' apartments of the McAllister building. Unsure if they were in the building itself or the night floors at first. The quintet of agents fought and eventually killed violently said tenant. Her apartment was strange, littered with bookcases and lit with a omnidirectional red light. Brief arguments were had about whether or not they should try to clean up the body, whether this was the real world, or what to do about the McAllister building. And at the end of the day, Agent Milster did what he felt had to be done and put the tenant out of her misery, shooting her in the face in front of the remainder of the agents. After a long discussion in her apartment about what to do, the quintet did their best to leave, venturing through the corridors of the night floors and racing, trying once more to find the smoking room. There, they briefly met up with the worst man who has ever been in New York. Had a conversation with him about how this worked, got no good answers, and decided, fuck it, I guess it's time to burn a building down. Using the paint thinners, linseed oil, and other accelerants from the basement of the McAllister, the team doused the building in flammable material. None of the tenants responded in the slightest. None of them came to the door when knocked, when someone briefly attempted to check on one of them and warn them. There was no real response, just a note, an empty heart-shaped piece of paper shoved under the door. The building burnt. It went up like a tinderbox. And frankly, no one seemed to care very much, except for the agents. I mean, sure, the fire department of New York City showed up and did their duty as they always do. Shout out to our brave heroes in uniform, I guess. But the response was muted. The agents went their separate ways. Reports were filed, but only in the most cursory of details. The situation was handled. The building was burnt. There was no going back. I mean, that had to be true, right? And then that was it. Brought together briefly for just 3-4 days. These 5 people are torn apart by their decisions and venture back into the world where it seems most of them became unemployed.
So
I just realized you were using the term quintet and referring to us as 5 people that whole time.
I'm
not gonna make you redo that.
Yep. This is on me.
I'm leaving this in. This is explanatory. Libby counts.
I do.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Don't
part of
kill
the
the
gang.
handler. Don't kill the handler.
I was counting
He's a real
a
person,
dog
too.
that is unnamed, actually. That's
The
Libby's
dog.
character. It has a full character sheet. Under San, it says 7.
You don't even
pretty
understand that if you're real or not.
If Hawk using the word quintet was enough to gaslight you into thinking there was a 5th character you had not acknowledged this entire time,
Hell yeah.
you don't deserve to listen to this show.
I don't know. Maybe it's working. Maybe that's just we picked someone up on the night floors and didn't realize it.
Marcellus Deschelle or whatever.
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yeah.
God, that is literally that character's deal, man.
That is literally what he is.
All right, but that was mostly it, right? Anyone else? Did I miss any
Just gotta
important
say,
notes? Anybody?
fucking impressive is like you literally were like, I don't have a recap. I have a recap. What the fuck?
Yeah, you're so sorry. Let me enter my mind palace for
Yeah,
one
for
moment.
real, for real.
I
Fuck.
told you I needed
There
a
it is.
second each day to go back. I needed 14 seconds to re-enter the realm.
That's dope.
So the only
only
event
thing
not
that-
mentioned is that we also killed the annoying guy.
Oh, we did kill the
Oh, yeah.
annoying guy.
And
I
by
killed Mark
we, Ty.
And by the way, this is the day that you are getting this home scene and you're being given the invite to the mission is the 28th of August of 2015.
The scene's going to open on Alexander Shoemaker coming home, no longer in Virginia. No, now he's in Tennessee, where he's no longer with the FBI. He retired from that career after 15 good years and transitioned to be the professor of forensic psychiatry over at Vanderbilt, where he graduated from med school. He moved there to be closer to his mother, whose health is failing, and has been a professor for the past 5 years. And so the scene opens as he enters his small home, his modest home, still dressed immaculately, dressed with the highest of fashion, but he looks haggard. His hair, which usually would have been perfectly manicured, is now kind of nutty professor-esque and all over the place. His blonde hair now streaked with gray. He looks tired, but in a different kind of way than he did when we first met him 20 years ago. He's seen a lot. He's heard a lot. And he enters into his home. When he walks in, he checks, as he always does, checks his voicemail to find yet another unwelcome voicemail message from a doctor over at his mother's care facility.
The message sounds something like, hey, Mr. Shoemaker, this is Dr. Jefferson at your mother's care unit. She's, look, she's kind of losing it at a faster pace. And I know that's very unprofessional of me to say, but I think the priority or speed here is of the most importance, and I'm just kind of tripping over myself. She keeps telling people about this flood, this coming, this second flood, or it's bothering people. I mean, it's bothering people that don't have the capacity or ability to be bothered. I'm very concerned. She needs to move to a more attentive, higher. She needs to go somewhere else. So please just please call me back here when you can.
Dr. Shoemaker sighs, picking up his cell phone, and starts to dial the number for the care facility, and then stops and deletes that number and calls a number he hasn't called in a long time.
The phone rings a couple of times, and then it's picked up. We hear the sound of generally some low music, jazz, poorly communicated over this not great cell phone service. And the end of what sounds like a sentence, something like, "I'll be right there," or "Yes, dinner's almost done." followed by, "Hello,
Antoine?
Alex."
It's my mom. She's losing it. She doesn't remember anything anymore, and she keeps talking about my dad's old sermons. Keeps talking about the flood.
Alex, I would hate to turn you away in a moment that sounds like it's very difficult for you. I know that...
Antoine, I know. I was stupid. I know it's been a long time. I know I broke... Antoine, did you see the court case?
Yeah.
The Obergefell case.
Yes, I saw. How could I have not seen?
Right. I know it's been weird, but we can be happy, Antoine.
Oh my God. Alex, I don't... Just hang on a second. I'll be right there. I need to go have this phone call outside. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'm okay. You hear the sound of walking and then a front door opening and closing. Look, Alex,
What's going on? Is there someone else there?
One problem at a time, please. I don't ever want anything except the best for you, but you need to stay out of my life.
No, I was dumb 20 years ago. I was scared. I didn't think the world would ever accept us.
Alex, do you know how many moments exist in 20 years? The moment that you could have said to me, "It doesn't matter. It matters not at all about what people think or the laws," or all those moments you had, all those times you could have taken the initiative and took us on the trip that you promised together through life.
Promised? What about that night in the park? You promised you'd wait for me to be ready.
Alex,
Well,
I said that
I'm ready now.
I said that I couldn't wait forever, and that is true. We have reached forever, Alex. I am done. We reached forever 5 years ago.
What are you saying?
I am saying that you and we're not in the same show anymore. We're not acting life day in and day out together. We're on totally different stages.
I know I missed my cue, but I'm not missing it now.
Okay.
Look, tell me what it takes.
No.
I'll win you back, I swear.
It's
Just
done.
Tell me
Alex,
what it takes.
it is done. Shut up. You need to go and do something else. Please. I loved you, and I am not sure that I don't still, but that is not the point. The point is that you need to go and do something that is not reveling in the 20 years ago and the things that we once had. We don't have them anymore, okay?
Antoine, just give me another chance. I don't have anyone else.
Then maybe you should go see a fucking priest. Hang up.
Antoine! Alex throws his phone to the ground and walks over to his pills, no longer over the counter. Now they're prescription strength. Dumping a few into his hand, his eye catches his home office door. He slides the pills back and bursts through his office door to the one thing that remains, his project. Alex's home office is a spitting image of the smoking room in the night floors. He has worked for years to make it so. Every bit of every carpet fiber, every speck on the walls, even a small bar where he has as close to the liquor that he could get. Everything looks like the smoking room, even a chair. Except next to the chair is a small typewriter. A typewriter he had built himself, going off of the design that he found on a napkin. Alex sits down at the chair and begins to look from the book on the table and starts to write, plinking away at his typewriter as he writes yet another ending to the world without doors. As he types out the last few sentences, maddeningly, he rips the page loose from the typewriter, looks at it and says, "No, this doesn't write the play." And he tears off a long chunk of it and forces it into his mouth. Gnawing on the paper, grumbling about something, he starts to type again. I have to write the play. I have to write the play. I have to write the play. And as he looks up, he looks to his one sole bit of inspiration, a photograph he has mounted to the wall, a Polaroid from 20 years ago, of a symbol he can't understand and he swears looks just a little different every time he looks at it. Staring at it once more, he looks down at the page. I have to write the play. I have to write the play. You have to let me out of the storm. You have to let me out of the storm.
And just at that moment, the final utterance leaving your lips, a knock comes at your front door.
Alex stands up, walks past a bookcase with dozens of new editions of World Without Doors, all written by Alexander Shoemaker, each one with a little plot difference here, a line of dialogue changed there, and answers the door.
Okay, you open the door and you see a FedEx worker has left a FedEx envelope there on the floor just outside your door. You pick it up and you begin to open it.
Adam Blackburn wakes up from a dream he had about a family roast dinner to familiar sights that he sees now, which is his cabin walls in northern Idaho. It's been 20 years since he left the prison, smuggled by the agency, to now be used as their hitman for either agents that have been deemed wasted or exfils, wet work, whatever they needed. They got their little guard dog now. It's still dark out. The smell of gun oil, old paper, and wood smoke fill the cabin. There's a knock at his door. Usually he doesn't get that many visitors this far up in the woods. He holds up his pistol in hand and lays beside the wall towards the door. And he asks, "Who is it?"
From outside, the low, bassy warmth radiates through the door as the response, "You know."
Adam stops tensing up, puts the gun back on his dresser, opens the door, sees a man with green eyes, but they have a strange hue about them, almost like they're glowing. It's late, Ghost Elk. What is it?
Late. Interesting. An interesting word to have chosen today. I am here to remind you.
Of?
Maybe you don't want to be reminded. He moves in to your cabin, pushes past you, and goes to put a pot of coffee on the wood-burning stove, and sits down in an old-ish chair that you have made at some point being up here, and he just looks at you, not creepily, and not like he has any business with you, but he's here because he knows he has to be, and because he has to do something. And you know what that is, but it's very hard for you to articulate.
So they're coming for me tomorrow?
Well, you know that when they come for you, you don't have to say yes. You can just remain. You can be.
What's the point? What am I gonna fucking rot here? I might as well be out there killing, because that's what they fucking want, right? That's the only reason why they broke me out.
20 years is a long time to consider, and I think that you have considered and found that the things that they want are things that you want. You are not unlike them. You have only the purpose and drive to stop and to bolster and to catch. You do not spend time being. You spend time moving and hurting. Many, many emotions and days and experiences that you continue to allow to happen to you. And you will not stop. You know why I am here. It is not to stop you or to push you. I'm here to say goodbye.
So be it. Hopefully this time will be the last, Ghost Elk.
He says, I am confident you will die. What I am not as confident about is what will happen after that.
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully.
That would be a blessing of the highest order. The coffee is done, or so he believes. Grabs it off the stove, pours you a cup, pours himself a cup. And you see he reaches behind and grabs what looks to be like a small carafe that has seen a lot of life. It's got, decent amount of what you know to be some fresh milk in it. Some fresh goat milk, that is. And he adds some to your coffee without asking. It's kind of your tradition, your custom that when celebrating or when marking an occasion, you can break out the milk. He has a little brown sugar in a small like a little satchel he brought, so he sprinkles some of that in the coffee too, and you share a moment together, a moment of bidding your life goodbye, the remainder of it. He has seen and lived through all the experiences with you that he can, and he knows that. So what follows is a somber moment that may or may not involve tears, but certainly involves a good long hug to punctuate the end of that conversation. He leaves right after that. He gives you his big hug and heads outside, and you see him just kind of walk in the direction he always walks. You've watched the back of him move away from you many, many times over the last 20 years up here, but you can't help but something grasping, catching in your throat as he walks away for the last time.
Adam goes back to bed, only to wake up a few hours later. As it's custom, he waits in front of the shooting range right next to an empty grave for an hour every day, only to wait if there's an assignment that would be coming to him. It's always the same person that comes for him. Agent Echo, or as he calls him, the Undertaker. He fucking hates that man. From his tailored suit to his shit-eating grin, knowing he's probably got a nice family he likes to lie to. Reminds him of the asshole in the smoking lounge all those years ago. Except this time, Millstone isn't there to take his place as the monster. Every time he sees his face, the hole in the ground next to him just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
The pine tree that you've utilized to mark 5 minutes to noon, you know for a fact, or 5 minutes to midnight, you're not sure. Right? The moon and the sun are the same thing, at least in your mind. Been around that long. The pine tree that you use to track that time, it's being hit by the moon or by the sun, and so you say, 5 minutes remain. I guess I'm safe. And just when you have that thought, you hear the beating of a helicopter moving towards you. Not a big one, small one of those ones that looks kind of like a bubble, very small. Zips. You can hear it zipping from a little ways away towards you, and as it always does, lands in a nice cleared spot, maybe 50 or 60 yards away from where you stand. Out steps Agent Echo. He begins moving towards you, and he's really got the most punchable face that has ever existed, and the way that he combs over his bright red hair really irks you on many levels. He approaches with the sound of the helicopter and the dust kind of settling down, and in a voice that sounds much too much like Mark Rourke's, he says, "Big one today. Real big one today. It's going to be a big, big deal, man. Honestly,
shut the fuck up, Taker. Who is it this time?"
You don't get that today, man. It's not that kind of thing. Look, there's an extra seat in the helicopter. It's for you. You're going with us. Well, I'm taking you somewhere. Usually you got to do your own thing, but no. Today you got a valet. You got a ride. You got a chaperone. It's me. You like me. We're friends, right? He is not being serious. he is deeply sarcastic.
Adam goes to the helicopter and essentially just sits very quietly.
On the way there, you see he's wearing a little messenger bag. He opens it up and hands you a FedEx envelope, kind of plops it in your chest, and you grab it. He says, "Boss said they were going to kill me and my whole family if I open that thing," which is an update from the usual, which is just me or my wife or something. They said my whole family, and I think they really meant it. Aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers, sisters. I think you'll like that one. Staring at the white FedEx package, you grab the little tab and rip it open.
Sorry, I'm late. I had a hell of a day, David. I'm sorry.
God, you are fine. I don't even know why you do this anymore. This is like, come on, like it's all good. It's fine. Just come on in. Around your arm around your shoulder.
All right. David Stein has been waiting for Heather Stoddard for probably about 15 minutes in a line outside a club in Manhattan. It's a scene that's played out a number of times over the past 20 years, and even before then. He's been waiting for Heather Stodder. She's still fussy, detail-oriented, somewhat obsessive. She used to be the most punctual person David knew, but sometime in the mid-90s, that changed, and it felt like she was always running behind, just a little bit behind the moment, behind the times.
I know that it's kind of a little bit busier than you usually like, but this place is, I mean, it really is kind of the spot if you want to have a good time. I've been seeing more now, because, well, I mean, Liam has been showing me around to more places, and I don't know,
It's lovely.
You're going to love it.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you'll love it.
I am excited, David. I really am. How are things with Liam going, by the way?
As he goes to answer, you feel the bass of the nightclub music start thudding against your chest, and the sound of people talking goes from a din to mostly cutting out everything he's saying to you. And he realizes this about halfway through a sentence, and then kind of takes you over to what seems to be like a booth area that's got a little bit more protection from the sound, kind of a quieter spot in general. People are talking, and it's like a little dance floor and some booths. He's like, honestly, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, like, you know me. I'm kind of a tough guy to live with, because of the.
I know. I get it.
Yeah. So, he has just been so nice and very accepting. And it wasn't even. It was nothing. It was really, really nothing. And it meant the world. That's kind of how my heart got opened up to him. And I don't know, I'm gushing. But he's really great. He really is.
I'm glad to hear you gush. It.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a better than average summer, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Well, yeah, I think that's true, but I'm kind of curious about how you've been. He flags down a waiter. So I'll have the usual, I'll have White Russian, and then what did you want?
I'll do the same. When in Rome, right?
Okay, yeah. He looks up, he's like, double, probably not. Probably just not a double. Oh, you want a double? No.
Single is fine.
Single.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, single. That's what I thought. Thank you. So anyway, sorry. You.
Liam?
No.
Me.
No.
Oh, no.
You're Summer.
Not
I want to
me.
get.
Yes, sorry. Oh, yeah. No, Max is good. He's still sharp, and he's, really taking to some of the folks who moved into the building. It's been nice. We didn't have anyone around for a while, and now he's got people. And he really needs that,
Mm-hmm.
I did. Do you remember a couple months ago I told you about Martin?
Oh, yeah. That was the...
Yeah, he's the guy who was doing the off-Broadway stuff. That I just wanted to mention before it came up.
Yeah.
That sort of went up in flames a little bit, but probably for the best.
Should we go egg his house or something? Is it bad or
no?
Oh.
It's fine. Artists, right? They're very intense, but they're all kind of. She thinks about it for a moment, and it's tough to say that they're all the same. But the last 20 years for Heather have been a string of short, unfulfilling relationships with men who have, as she has aged, mostly gotten younger. Again, she feels for a moment like a twinge of the feeling that has been lurking under things for her, of being stuck trying to recapture something. She shakes it off and she goes, he was just, he was kind of one note and schedules didn't line up. So just wanted to get that out before, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, we definitely can. But look, before we move on, I want to say, do you think that, well, when will be a good time for Heather to take care of Heather, and not of other people? I'm your friend, and so I've been noticing. Look, I had to rekey the door to your house 6 months ago. I don't think it's going uphill. I think it's kind of going downhill.
No, I've been talking to someone, a professional, just a therapist. Sure.
Yeah, okay.
And she talks a lot about. She doesn't talk a lot, but when she does talk, she often says that I and Max both try to make our lives about other people all the time. And you're right about that, I think. I think you're both right about that. It's way easier to make it just out there. You know, it's about the audience, right? Or it's about the director or the neighbors or Max or me for Max rather than ourselves. I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't answer the question for sure. But that's okay.
When am I going to work on my life? I mean, I am. I'm doing what I can. I have a good gig with Citibank, you know. I'm in there 3 days a week. I make good money. Max runs the store. I make sure he doesn't get underwater. I am still living in the same apartment with my dad from the past 20 years. And if it wasn't in the middle of Manhattan, I'd probably consider that a lose. But frankly, I don't think I could afford to live there, even working for Citibank at this point. And I'm making excuses. David.
The waitress comes back and she lowers the tray. And as she does, she a little off balance, and both the drinks fall over and onto your lap. So you've got kind of the smell of this alcohol and I think cream liqueurs and White Russians. I don't know for sure.
And milk or cream.
Yeah. So
it is just about the worst thing to have spilled on you.
Yeah.
Heather doesn't move. She stays completely still for 4 or 5 seconds. She is dressed 10 years past date, a little frumpy, still small, short woman thin. She looks down at her all black clothes that are just a little tattered and now covered in milk and sugar and liquor. And she sighs and goes, "It's all right. Things happen, right?" And she starts to talk rather than do anything about the glasses and the ice and everything piled on top of her. And there's a little bit of a frantic tone in her voice as she talks. Things happen and you address them and you move past them. And ultimately, the things we cannot control, you just have to deal with one thing at a time. And it's only after she's almost condescendingly explained this to David, she starts to pick things up from her lap and set them on the table. She says, "I'm going to run to the restroom. David, I will be right back. I'm glad. I want to hear more about Liam. Please, I would really like that."
As you walk away toward the bathroom, you hear the waitress apologizing now to David, saying things about how she's practicing her stage walk, and she probably ought to not do that as openly in public. It's turned out to be pretty bad for her to act like she's on stage. Maybe that hooks in your mind a touch, but not enough to keep you from getting the liquids off of you that are on you.
Yeah, as she is cleaning off in the bathroom, it's like a club bathroom, but they have a couple, it's weirdly between a club and a fancier bar or speakeasy. There's this old print on the wall from 30 years, 40 years ago of Madison Square Park and some of the buildings surrounding it. And for a second, she pauses before her hands are wet. She's right by the hand dryer, and she leans forward close to the glass before she realizes what she's doing, tears herself away, and walks out of the bathroom with wet hands and takes a wrong turn and walks straight through the door into the VIP section.
There's a whole back area here that's much more lounge-like. Much more money is spent in this area.
Yeah, and it's quiet. The throbbing bass is still there, but it's a heartbeat here instead of just an omnipresent noise. There's a smell of smoke in the air. And Heather looks around and takes another deep, deep breath. Someone comes up to talk to her, but she can't hear them. It's she's underwater. She apologizes. This time, she doesn't try to explain herself. She just apologizes and backs out of the door, bumping into the door, which swings open, and she stumbles back out right into David, who has come looking for her. And she is there are tears welling up in her eyes. She goes, "David, David, I'm sorry. I took a wrong turn. God, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't scare you or anything. Or were you?"
He's no. I mean, it would not be the first time I went inside a women's bathroom with no permission. So it was not a big deal. It's okay. let's go though. He's clearly keyed in on the fact that you are not okay. He's like, let's. Why don't we go? I have a nice bottle of wine at my apartment. Maybe we could head over there, and you can meet Liam, and that way you'd be out of this environment.
That sounds so lovely, David.
Okay, great.
I would love that.
Super. And he pretty quickly ushers you out. Almost as soon as you've exited the bar, his phone rings. His cell phone rings. He picks it up. It's clearly a conversation with Liam. If not with Liam, another human that he lives with, that he seems to be in love with, right? He has this conversation, and it's clearly a tough one. Ends it and says, "So, I'm sorry, I don't really. You can't come over tonight. Liam is excited to meet you, but is going through something. So,
I totally understand. That it's all right. The whole time this conversation has been going on, she has been staring across the road at the subway station and doing mental math about how long it would take her to get to Madison Square Park. She was just like vacantly thinking about, okay, if I do this and I catch the A train, that'll get me right to there, and then I can walk. And so when she gets interrupted, she's a little flustered, and she says what she said, and she goes, "We will take a rain check. I'm so glad we got to spend a little bit of time together. Do you need to head home?"
Yeah. I think so.
Great.
I was just really feeling like maybe you needed to hear something that would spur you on, some time for Heather. And so I was thinking what would make the most sense to me, and I think it's time. I just say, like, I think it's really time for you to step into your role. Be the thing you want to be, and act out every day like it's written for you. I just think that's really where you're at right now. But
it is where I am, David. It is where I am. It's where I've been for. No, David. You are acting from a place of deep kindness. I truly believe that, and I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't think I've ever not been on stage.
Look, I gotta go, and you need to start putting yourself first. And I'll talk to you soon, and it'll be great, and you'll meet Liam. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a call tomorrow.
That sounds great. Thank you. And he gives you a little wink and then walks away. The subway station is, as you've done all the math already, the subway station is close, as is Madison Square Park. And you...
Oh, yeah. I don't go straight home. I go to Madison Square Park. That's why I was late. I was in Madison Square Park.
Mm-hmm.
And just like every time, I walk the perimeter of the park. I have to do it at least 3 times most of the time before I feel comfortable. Madison Square Park is right by the Flatiron Building. Lots of iconic, beautiful buildings, old hotels, apartment buildings, offices, a couple stores. And I walk around the perimeter. I don't look at the park. I look out at the buildings, and I wonder which of you. Is it inside one of you? Is it there that the brothel bin once was, is, will be? 2 or 3 times most days I do this. On a good day, I do it just the once at the start of my day. I just add it into my commute. It doesn't take long, just a couple extra minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take long tonight. Wandering under the streetlights, looking at the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Which one?
That almost makes it worse for you in the sense that you spend time looking, and that means that you believe that you didn't look hard enough. There wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough detail that you could examine. And so you keep going back thinking that you are the reason that you can't find the brothel bin. But unfortunately, that's likely not the case. Who knows? Maybe you'll know someday. As you make your way back to your apartment. And
from there, not a long walk back to the apartment. Part of the reason why she still lives with her father. She can't let go of the McAllister brothel bin. Every day, she just makes it a small part of her life. Every day it steals those 5, 10, 30 minutes. These are a little emptier. She walks through Midtown, loud, Korean voices, English voices, people coming in and out of clubs, karaoke bars, restaurants. She winds her way through them to the familiar doors of her father's business into the apartment beside. And on the door, up to the rickety stairs up to the apartment that haven't changed very much since she took Agent Meridian up them decades ago. On that door, she sees a small yellow square with a small green symbol in the corner and a number, an unfamiliar phone number. And she should feel a sinking sensation, but she feels relief. She's really just here. Always has been.
And you feel very compelled in this moment to call the number. You're not sure exactly what or why. You go inside and quietly to yourself, you call the phone number. And it sounds like you woke somebody up. Says that they are an after-hours FedEx delivery man that is on call for extremely important documents such as this. He left your number here, or his number there with you. And he asks you if he can be there in 5 minutes. And you say yes. You say, yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
About 5 minutes later, a very disheveled 22-year-old man, if you had to guess, college student just about to be out of college, groggily walks up to you, looks at with those red eyes and says, "Here you are, ma'am," and gives you a...
Still damp, still kind of sticky from the spill. Sitting on the curb watching people go by, she looks up at him and goes, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
My cue, I suppose.
Sure. I guess. He turns and walks a different direction. And you sit there, sticky hands on this big white FedEx envelope, knowing that what's inside is probably going to make you look a lot worse than you look right now. So you pull that tab open and reach inside.
Yeah. 20 years ago, I would have gone inside. I don't really care anymore. I open it in the street. And I get started. Whatever it says I need to do, I know it's going to be worth it.
Reed Hollis sits on a patch of grass, sharing a moment of silence with his daughter, Emily. After Reed's separation from his wife, Sylvia, in 1995, they had resumed living and raising Emily together in 1997. Reed had retired, and the family moved to Washington State. It had been good. Not perfect, but better, and they were working hard at it. 2 years later, the doctors had found Sylvia's cancer. 9 months after that, she had been laid to rest 6 feet beneath the patch of grass that Reed now shares with Emily, who is now 26 years old. He sits with her at the cemetery in Snohomish, where he now lives alone in a relatively remote cabin. They meet once a year here, on the anniversary of Sylvia's death. Emily comes in from the city, lays a flower that Reed purchased on her mother's grave. She stopped saying words for her mother when they visit. If it weren't for the cash, Reed is sure that she would no longer take the trouble to bus here anyway. And when they part ways, Reed knows that she will ask him for money, and he knows that money will be spent on drugs.
So, Lily's, is that new, or? I mean,
I'm not good at this stuff, you know. I get what the grocery store has. It's whatever's in season.
Yeah. No,
So, what you been up to?
I'm, I don't know.
Staying out of trouble?
I mean, yes, I'm not a 12-year-old. Yeah, it's fine, Dad. I don't know. I kind of hang out with people, and I have a new job.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm a greeter. Well, greeter is the wrong. I'm a customer service experience expert, or I don't know. I make sure people don't steal from fucking...
Emily, what the fuck are you talking about? What is it?
Where do you work? I stand
at
Walmart, and I ask for the fucking receipt.
Jesus
That's me.
Okay, cool.
It's got its pros and cons.
Were skirting very widely around the word Walmart. We got there, though. Great.
Yeah.
And?
I can live in a apartment with most of the money from it, and I still have Billy. I mean, he's still around. Well, he's my boyfriend. I mean, Billy is around.
Yeah? And what's he up to?
You know, Dad, he is up to whatever he does. I'm not his mother. We see each other every night before we go to bed, and that's all that matters to me, okay? She stands up and kind of walks a little bit. It's got some distance between where you and she are standing, a couple of feet, looking out back to you. Dad, I feel awkward telling you that you need to, like, get the fuck over Mom dying. Like, I know that's weird for me to say out loud to you, but, like, I feel weird when we're together. I feel like I'm just like an image of Mom, and that's weird. What the fuck? I mean, like, get a therapist or whatever. I don't know.
I need to get over it. Are you over it?
Dad, way to turn it on fucking me. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. At least...
I'm not turning it on you. You turned it on me. Tell me I need to get over her. Let me see your arm, huh?
Don't
pull up those sleeves.
Don't play that game, Dad. You know that I do things.
You over it?
I do things to cope, okay? It's better than living alone and being sad all fucking year long, okay? I think.
Do you hear yourself right now? Is that a joke?
Look, I never claimed that I was well-adjusted. I have my own shit that I am living through, but I don't want to hate the time that we have together, okay? I don't know how long either of us are to continue being alive. And that's not a threat to you or to me. I just don't know. And I don't know what I want, okay? She comes back down and sits next to you.
You know, the truth of whether or not you're so serious about having a real relationship with me is going to be put to the test soon, because the pension's drying up, so...
Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. Here I am, making a fucking bridge across troubled water, and you bring up your goddamn pension. Like, money's all I ever wanted from you. I would get a fucking sugar daddy, okay? You are not the bank, okay?
Did you ever get a sugar daddy? I will kill him.
She chuckles.
You know that, right?
She chuckles. She's, small victories, I guess.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, do you want to say anything?
About,
Yeah.
Do you want me to say anything?
Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I could think of something, but do you want that? Do you want me to think of something? Because I will if you want me to.
I guess not.
She stands up and looks down at you. She says, "Lilies are fucking stupid." And she turns and starts walking away. I'm not asking you for money, which is something you believe that she would certainly do. She walks away. And you can tell from the moment you saw her, the moment she walks away, you know she's not well, she's not healthy, she's not safe, she's not doing okay.
Later that day, late afternoon, Reed Hollis sits at his workbench and carefully places a daub of wood glue on the small but meticulously carved piece of black walnut he's holding in his hands. He puts it in its rightful place and sits back, allowing it to dry. After a time, he cracks a beer from the old refrigerator in his workshop and heads in to make himself some food. After eating, he opens the envelope sitting on his dining room table, the one that had been delivered to him earlier that day, sitting silently and ponderously as he reads. Then he takes a bath. He doesn't often take baths, only when he feels the need to be really clean. He only takes them when it's time to cleanse. The water is scalding. At midnight, Reed steps out into his backyard, less a yard, and more a point of ingress into the woods of western Washington. He wears nothing but a dripping coat of bath water. Before him, elevated upon a piece of sheet metal, is a miniature scale building, sitting silently and ponderously. Reed Hollis grins, a wide grin that doesn't reach his eyes, grabs a book of matches from his patio table, lights the cigarette hanging from his lips, steps toward his creation, and baptizes the night in flame.
We will see what was inside our agents' envelopes next week. And we'll...
Bye.
Oof.
Yes, well done.
We're all just so positive.
Yeah, we're all doing great. We are all well-adjusted, normal people.
I think so.
Yep.
Who believe our choices matter in the world we live in. And as a result, are
the
making
intelligent,
good choices.
the intelligentsia of our audience would have come to expect that already. You knew
Right.
what was coming.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
damn. I guess wearing nothing but a coat of bathwater. Nice. I'm gonna have that. All right. Thank you all for
That image?
No, I won't have that. No. Thank you all for imaging the same thing I'm imaging and showing up here to watch our.
Me, nude, bathwater.
Calling HR.
Our first Patreon goal.
If you want to see, that will never be a goal.
Yeah, Andy's been mentoring me on the.
On the OnlyFans content.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good OF mentor to really get you where you need to go. Thanks so much
Might
for
be
watching the show today. We have all probably enjoyed ourselves. We hope that you did as well. We'll be back here, same time, same place, in 2 weeks. And so, until then, take care of yourselves. Go for a walk. I don't know. Touch grass. Wait. Yeah, touch grass. And I guess we'll see you next time. Tell us if you liked it. Give us a comment.
Join us in 2 weeks for part 2 of Impossible Landscapes. Exciting stuff.
That's right.
About
Let's
to
go.
It's getting
Prepare
quick,
yourself.
baby. It's going to be dope. Here we go.
Join us in considering the fallibility of human agency. Every week, every other week. It's the best.
You want to do it at least every 2 weeks, and you don't
Right.
want to forget.
It's kind of like your... It's
Right.
I think
your
if you
sheets.
don't, actually, you will just become too powerful, is the thing.
hmm
Yeah.
I too like the downward spiral of humanity. This is what you need.
The funny thing is, my sanity is like 3 below its max value.
Great.
Heather came out of the last time great, and lying to her therapist was great for Heather.
I'm
As
so
it
glad that
always
worked out.
is. Yeah. Lying to therapists, 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Yeah, I'm down at least a solid 20 from starting value.
I had to remind myself what my starting sand was, and it was quite a bit more than what I have right now.
Good.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be. It's
I am
gonna be
20
good.
down as well.
Yep, it's good when we all meet again and aren't doing well.
Very
It
good.
would have been terrible if we had one person just doing like exceptionally well, like been to therapy, done all the thing, like
You guys really
took care
felt
of
the
their
shit. Holy
bonds.
God, damn.
I'm like, yeah, we did something hard, but you know, I've learned some strategies and did some coping. I'm on a really good.
Yeah.
I have a
Really good
service dog
medication.
now.
That's another thing
Yeah, I'm
you're going to
actually-
have to acclimate to, audience, is picturing us as old people. You got to
Right.
remember
That's
that. Now. You
right.
can't be picturing so nude,
For that reason,
dripping
come
with
back
water.
in 20 years when we will pick up.
56 years old.
Richard Linklater has sponsored us.
Before we sign off, I want to take a moment to talk about something very close to my heart. This podcast is about exploring darkness and fear, but in real life, those feelings can be overwhelming. I want to remind you that if you're feeling lost, lonely, or struggling, you don't have to face it alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're in the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free, confidential support 24/7. Wherever you are, there are resources and there is hope. You matter and your story matters.